And this case highlighted the wonderful things which came when some things were discussed mostly, that is the double vulnerability factor as well, which was very well highlighted in the case. As you can see, it's after the fact, like when this petitioner, actually the petitioner is basically the husband of the victim here. I am nursing home and she was in the advanced stage of the pregnancy and for a delivery she went. And thereby she was made to compel to do an HIV test. She did not know what test she was asked to do for. And then when she was asked to do the test, she thought that it was a routine test which was required probably from a delivery. And after some time, her husband was also asked to do a similar kind of a test. Like he said that my wife is pregnant, not me. Why am I going through this? But it was emergency time, and so he did not kind of went into a much longer debate on that. And later on, they refused to treat her and said that you go somewhere else, we can't do your delivery. That was the main thing which happened with her. When she asked and said that actually you're suffering from AIDS, straight away AIDS, whether she's positive or not, that was not even mentioned, nothing was there. And then since she came there to deliver a child and in a very critical situation. When she was dragged through the corridor, during that time only, actually she was almost delivering, and so somehow she delivered in one of the general room of the nursing home. And this happened in at least 350 to 400 kilometers from Calcutta, so it was quite far off as well. It was a rural place. And after that, not only they stopped making the couple going through that particular ordeal of going through the HIV test, but after that she was given her status was mentioned for the family members, whoever came to see the baby and all. And very surprisingly, I don't know how this happened, we continue with a lot of other agencies and positive results everywhere, and also we have looked up to the guidelines as well. Within 15 minutes, the baby was also being confirmed to be very positive. It's not very positive. Even if you go through a PCR test, also it's not possible. So that was done, and she was said that the entire family is positive, and it was written on the prescription that they're positive, so go to the so-and-so state nearest, say positive. So they done, and since they were so scared to touch her also because she was positive while she was delivering the child, the required number of, whatever medical attention was required because she had normal delivery, but the stitches she required to be administered also was not administered because she developed a septicemia catheter. And this case actually came to us through the positive network, district positive network, which was stated there. And when we went through the case of first violation, as you can see very well that obviously right to health equipment, which we had been talking for last 2 days or 1.5 days. That's the first thing which came to our mind. Apart from that, obviously right to safe motherhood, but along with that, right to dignity, which was something which we would like to focus on here very vehemently, because she didn't realize also that she had been kind of what was happening with her. She was in a critical situation, and she had to be done. She went through an HIV positive test which she did not know. After that, she said, no, we can't do your delivery. So it was a continuation of the ordeal which she was passing for 1.5 days till she was sent to the next hospital for her reference. And as we all know, in case of a positive woman, if she was delivering in a state of being positive, there are some other medications which are required also, that would be done. And the level which needs to be administered to the child baby, that is also done after 40 hours. So the baby is now right now something around 7-8 months, so we really don't know what the fate of the baby. That has to wait for another, another 1 year to know what the status. And the basic violation, definitely the forcefully testing of HIV, it is another violation which is included along with the other violations which are similar to other cases in the here. I'm sorry, there's a misprint in Article 12 of ICC. And because, I don't know how can the nursing home kind of got the idea that a pregnant woman has to go for an HIV test. Because as per, you all might be aware of this, whenever we are talking dealing with pregnant women, if it's there's a vulnerable category, then the opt-in and opt-out test is prescribed by the MACO, which is like you need to give the option to the woman whether she wants to go for the HIV test or not. And that option has to be made available through a series of counseling, because entirely missing time was a private setup. But in conformity with the law of the land, this has to be included in the mandatory provision. that was badly indicated, and that's why we are putting that confidentiality, which has been made a violation over here. And basic challenge which we faced was because this was a private job. This was, we can't directly take it up. We could have gone to the consumer court, but we wanted to put some responsibility on the state as well, because why am I going to a private hospital? Why am I going to because she was in the rural sector, probably there you don't find enough, very few nursing homes, but still she chose. We asked her a little number of times that, were your parents registered to any of the state schemes or something? She said no. She said, I was not aware of much, and we thought that private hospital is going to give me a better pay. This was my first baby, and they did not know all this. This was the first time they were meant to go for HIV things. So they were not aware of this thing. So she said, this is my first baby, so we saved a lot of money to go to the private nursing home so that we can have a second baby. And the main argument which we kind of used to basically put responsibility on the state as well was definitely the position of the Karat case, where it is strictly, clearly states that why we are actually putting not only the blame on the private institutions as well as the state. Because the state cannot just shift this burden of monitoring on the private healthcare sector. Because when it's growing under its nose, when it's growing and when it's getting the license as well, it's coming. You know about it, it's functioning. And yet, they are not following the laws of the land, they are not following the other principles required to follow. So there are various factors. So we can't really, and when we have to do this case, we kind of definitely let the state health department knew as well that this was going. We had sent the Department of Justice as per the law. This was the main argument and the main thing which was very critical for us, because we did not want to just take it up with just against nursing home, because it had a lot more other things to do about it. And obviously, as you can see, I'm not going to the articles detail. We have been listening to this and we were already aware, so I'm not going to just that. And another thing, obviously, the major item of village has been grossly violated for confidentiality factor, because not only the test has been performed, but I have been releasing, this was the status system. So both the things came together. So that was also very important. And because they have gone through a very long trauma. Already I am being reduced to the very critical stage. On top of that, my family members were shunted me away on that very day. The 3-4 days were very vicious to me. So it was a huge audience, which we wanted to flag basically. And obviously, we can't be like this because that argument comes with everything. That's the first and primary most argument which we had put in. And this case is still pending. We have not yet got an interim order or anything, because as you can understand, the long pendants in the city. But the basic thing, along with the stricter criminal action and cancellation of the license of the private nursing home, we asked for, I don't know how is this possible, the group here can suggest certain mechanisms how to monitor. Because this is not the first case which we are getting. We have been hearing this for a long time. This is the case we took it to the court. We had an opportunity to take it to the court. This is the first case happening in West Bengal or any other state person. So that is something as a prayer, as a relief we have sought. So that needs to be very handled very carefully. And apart from that, we thought that probably we would set this the precedent for the next cases coming up. But very unfortunately, even this case could be heard. In this 3 months, we had to file a second case, where she was also positive women, and she suffered for at least 5 days in labor almost, and because she used to come and go, she used to come and go, they said that, no, you're not waiting for a delivery, because we can't process a delivery. And that's the state hospital. That's quite an industrial town in West Bengal. It's in Durgapur, so it's like quite a, I won't say it's a rural area. She was being planned, and finally, when she said that my baby has stopped moving, it seems, hospital did not pay her, and finally, after 12 years, after 12 hours, when she was